And we have a very, very sad matchup because on the left we have Emma playing the most amazing deck you've ever seen. It's called Stormy Wild Breach, and it's Teamer Wilderness Reclamation Underworld Breach 1000-Year Storm deck. It's lovely. However, on the other side of the table we have Dries playing Mono Red, and I tested this matchup. 2 games on either side, and not a single game came close for the combo deck.
What's your name, Dries? Kapart. Done.
So what we're seeing here, Dries opening with Footlight Fiend, attack, light of the stage, Footlight Fiend. Emma does get to go off. Growth Spiral into Arboreal Grazer, 4 lands on her turn 2. That is amazing.
What's the name again? Rock, Storm, Breach.
Stormy Wild Breach.
Stormy. Let's honor the name.
That's the way it's on the deck list as well. And there is Anax Hardened in the Forge, which is at this moment of 4/3. Whenever anything dies, it'll make a token. But Emma is doing the I was gonna say inevitable, it's not inevitable, the thing I thought impossible, and actually surviving. Although, let's see, 2, yeah, life total's correct. So she's still at 20. But the biggest problem is Dries has Cavalcades. And that was the card that really broke the matchup, because Emma has access to Root Snare to stop any combat damage. But if there's a Cavalcade, your Root Snare doesn't do anything anymore. Well, I mean, it still does something, but you're still taking a lot of damage. However, it seems here Dries kept an opener that didn't have a Cavalcade, so Emma just takes 5 of this attack. Dries wants to have it die, but no, the Arboreal Grazer is an 0/3. Alright, let's see what Emma can string together here.
Is that a Wilderness Reclamation?
Yes, there's a Reclamation in play, and there's a second one. Okay, so 1 red floating.
You rigged pairings, you assume Gent was paired against non-Gent. It was somewhat weighted to separate people that tested together and to avoid people that are visitors in Gent against the locals as well. But other than that, it's random. It's not like I took the decks or the actual matchups into account to decide the bracket.
In the meantime, Thirst for Meaning into Thirst for Meaning. I'm getting to see a lot of cards, and there's one more Reclamation trigger on the stack as far as I know. That happened, and the turn is passed. Okay, so Emma's gone up 3 cards in hand. And there's another all attack. Emma chumping the Anax. So Dries not finding his Cavalcades, Emma not finding her Root Snares.
How many cards does Emma still have in hand?
I'm thinking at this point 4, but I might be wrong.
Wow, the pairings are rigged, but not as bad as Iowa. Point, point.
Okay, so another Chemisters. So Emma now has a big hand again. 7 cards probably. There's a land.
Emma's still on double digits. So.
Yes.
Ooh.
And there's a 1000-Year Storm. Yeah, so as I said, Dries lacking that Cavalcade of Calamity is absolutely giving Emma the time that she needs.
And she has 2 Chemisters Inside
in the graveyard. Oh yes.
Right? So this is
she can draw a ton of cards.
Draw a million.
But she definitely needs to have a Root Snare cast at some point.
Yeah. So what's happening right now is the first Wilderness Reclamation has untapped all Emma's lands. And she's now casting things in between the spells. So she cast a Chemist's Insight from the graveyard. That's why she discarded land. And then is floating mana in between the two triggers of reclamation, wilderness reclamation.
Do you know what Emma's kill is?
Shock.
A single shock in the 75.
I know.
That's the only way. Well, that
no,
and Fate of Wishes beats.
Fate of Wishes,
there's no win
find me
condition
the
in the
kill.
sideboard. There's nothing that wins the game in the sideboard.
Wow.
So it is, well, Ashiok Durimrander Mill, I guess.
Judge question. Can I call a deck the Boros Bros a mass movement of tokens, or is that against rules of political neutrality? What? I'm not sure what you're referring to now. What I'm going to say, no.
No, I know it is referring to, and it's, I doubted that anyone would have any issues with it. Okay, so there's the Cavalcade of Calamity, as I said. So Emma is taking 4 off the attack. But I see 4 creatures attacking.
So
yeah.
3 damage.
Right, because Annex doesn't. Good call. But Root Snare prevents most of the damage. Now, if you're a Dries here, do you play the second Annex to make 4 tokens? Because I totally would. Yep, he's going for it. Boom, Annex dies. Boom, 4 Satyrs hit the board.
2.
4. Because they both trigger twice. Yeah, that's wrong.
You get
Judge, please go upstairs. He should have 4 tokens. Well, actually, no, never mind. It's a trigger. He can forget that. Never mind. It's a trigger, so it's alright. But yes, each Annex has 4 power, at least.
Correct.
So they trigger for 2 tokens, and they both trigger.
Yep.
But it's not incorrect what he did. He just forgot a trigger. And I'm sure Emma didn't know about it as well. But that actually sounds like the judge is actually coming upstairs to tell him. Which is fair, since, it's the Invitational. We want people to have their triggers.
Yep. And another Wilderness Reclamation.
Okay, that's a lot of mana.
So the judge is arriving at this time.
Yes, and we'll explain that there should be 4 tokens of the Annex. I'm pretty sure Dries has been playing this deck for a while in the Sydney class leaderboard, right?
He's never played it.
Okay.
Ever.
Okay, fair. Then that's why he doesn't know.
No.
See, I had this on my first pre-release, so...
Yeah, he got it on Friday evening.
All right.
I heard that as well. So they're trying to figure this out.
Yeah, it's fine. Basically, what happened here in an actual event, the judge wouldn't intervene because we would just assume that he forgot one of the triggers. However, in the Invitational, we want the matches to play out naturally. We want players to either win or lose by their play skill or their deck, not by forgetting a trigger here or there. Okay, and it looks as though the judge is on the way to us for questions.
To confirm that. So this is turning into a little rock around the rosy. They're now talking about the interaction. Yeah, my hair looks like shit right now. So we just confirmed.
Short, you can't say shit on stream.
Why not?
It's a naughty word.
It's a naughty word. So, we're going back to the live match. The players are getting instructed to get all their tokens. Emma's confused. Because this is really bad for Emma as well.
To have the extra tokens there?
Yes. With the Cavalcade.
Yeah, but it's still not a lethal attack. Like, it doesn't change Dries' clock. She's either dead to attack plus root, to attack plus combat damage, or she's dead in 2 turns with the root snare. So I don't think it really matters all that much.
Demonetized.
I think what's mostly important is that what she can do with this 1,000-year storm here.
Yeah, this turn is going to be deciding the outcome no matter what.
So ditch a land. Chemister's Insight using the floating mana. There's a root snare.
Dries has shock in hand.
Okay. Then that is still not lethal because Dries gets 7 cavalcade triggers, Emma goes down to 3, shock goes down to 1, root snare stops the combat damage.
Yeah. Tom Gitta Games really excited about seeing Emma in the stream. This is the weirdest clash of communities happening because Emma is the social media representative for Tournament Center, which does now stream support for Dragon Ball and Pokemon events, and
cool.
And Tom is one of the
Dragon Ball
I know, judges.
Yeah.
This is getting so complicated.
Fair enough, MH Volca. That was before Emma gained 1 life from the land. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But at this point in time, it is not lethal to have that shock. But Emma's drawn a lot of cards off of an 1,000-year stormed Thirst for Meaning. Okay.
So as a reminder for everybody,
another Chemister.
1,000-year Storm makes you copy every instant and sorcery you played for every instant and sorcery you played before it.
Right, and Emma is now at Storm 3, drawing 6 cards off this one Chemister's Insight.
Yeah, this Storm deck is pretty awesome.
Yep.
Chocolate Girl. I don't think we've seen you around. Oh, I have seen you around, but I'm not sure who you are. MH Volk is here as well. Welcome. We seem to have dropped down to 43 viewers, though. Aw,
points to Emma for originality. Absolutely, this deck is a beauty. And if she manages to somehow get through Cavalcade Red in 2 games, I'm gonna be very interested to see how she does against the Grandier matchups. Because I like Junt Food. I want to see if Junt Food can do anything, or just dies.
I'm afraid to ask, but I don't know why the enchantment is called 1,000-year Storm. That's the amount of time you need for a turn. Yeah.
Okay, Emma's going through her deck, making sure she's not milling out. Growth Spiral, 1, 2, 3.
She's discarded Growth Spiral.
Oh,
she's still resolving the 4 copies of Thirst for Meaning.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. So she's going through her deck.
DBMP, isn't that Dylan?
No.
No?
That'd be DPPB.
Oh no. Jeez.
Dylan Pro Point Button.
No, then I don't know who they are. But they subscribe to me, so thank you very much.
Dylan is, I'm pretty sure his name is Key Member on Twitch. Okay, so Emma seems to be deciding which 7 cards she wants to keep.
It is him.
Oh, it is Dylan, really? Interesting. Well, gosh darn it. Oh, of course I should have known. We were once watching the stream together. Yeah. I'm an idiot.
So Emma is discarding at this point?
It looks like it.
1 shock and 1,000-year Storm ultimate meme deck.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
And I mean, the fact that she went this deep and didn't find the shock or the kill is going to be rough. Here's a root snare, which means Dries will only get to 7 triggers off of Cavalcade, and that's it for the damage for this turn. Emma down to 3. Dries has 2 cards. Does he have a kill? It's a land. And we know the last card is a shock, so no.
Yeah, Dries is not playing Skewer the Critics.
No.
That's
skewers
which
are
I
in the
found
sideboard.
super surprising.
Okay, Emma plays a life gain land. Or no, taps a life gain land, I'm sorry. Oh no, there we go. Underworld Breach. Okay.
Shit is short is about to hit the fan.
Underworld Breach. So she's gonna shock, to have shock fuel the next shock for 1,000-year Storm. This is amazing.
So again,
wow!
1,000-year Storm lets Emma make a copy of a spell for each instant or sorcery she already played this turn. She gets to cast and escape the shock over and over and over and over and over and over again. And I'm pretty sure with the mana she had available with the 3 Reclamation Sages, she could have dealt somewhere in the vicinity of 29 billion damage here.
Wilderness Reclamation, not Reclamation Sage.
Yeah,
but yes.
Wilderness Reclamation.
Wow, that was exactly as I said earlier on in the game. Dries not finding that Calamity earlier is what lost him this game, because if you give Emma enough time, she is going to win the game.
Yeah,
no questions.
Dries will need one of these. And I'm afraid with Mono Red, he doesn't really have that available to him.
Alright, let's take a look at what Dries can do to interact out of the sideboard. So, Dries wants to be as aggressive as possible. And I honestly think there is nothing in the sideboard that he really wants, except for maybe Skewer the Critics for some more reach.
Yep.
And I think that is exactly where it ends. Emma, on the other hand, has some interesting things to do.
Don't. I'm doing stuff that's not supposed to happen. Go back.
So Emma in the sideboard can bring in negates, which I think she should, because of how important Cavalcade of Calamity is in this matchup. Next to that, Return to Nature takes care of Cavalcade of Calamity. I like it. Dries' deck does not have the Stomp Giant. Dries' rares are Chandra Fire Artisan, Experimental Frenzy, Thorbrand Thane of Redfell, and Ember Cleave, because his deck is named Believe in the Cleave.
Okay.
Why is Azorius Mill still up there?
Oh no, it's the wrong one.
Let's back to Emma's deck though. She can refine to some more interaction with the Cavalcade, but apart from that, I think she's fine not doing so.
So what else is going on in the deck list?
I still see Azorius Mill up there, buddy.
I gave someone the wrong name. Yeah.
No, Emma's up there. That's Emma's list. You just haven't actually transitioned into it yet.
Sigh.
There we go.
I know how this works.
Okay, everyone. Now you get to see the full beauty of Emma's list. And yes, as we said, the single shock.
Yep. That's crazy to me.
Mm-hmm. Like, imagine Emma's opponent plays Ashiok, attacks with it, and exiles a shock. At that point, her plan is basically make mana granted for Devious Cover-Up, granted again for another Devious Cover-Up, and don't mill out while the opponent does mill out. That's, I think, the backup plan if the shock gets exiled. I love it.
Very, very awkward.
I love it. It's all in on a single shock. I am loving this deck. Very nice. I think what we can definitely expect to go out is Ashiok Dream Render and Once of Future, because they are 2 high cost, low impact cards for the matchup that can then easily be replaced by Return to Nature and Negate.
Yep.
Interesting question, Niels. What will you do? You have 2 Return to Natures in the sideboard and a Fae of Wishes in the main deck. Do you bring in both Return to Natures?
I think I do.
Right? I think so as well.
I mean, the Fae of Wishes is very much a game 1 tool.
Mm-hmm.
After that, it becomes a bit awkward.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in a deck, against a deck like Dries's. The game plan and the answers you need for them are so abundantly clear that even having to cast the Fae of Wishes' adventure might just be the delay he needs to just
kill you,
boink you off the table. So there's a... I don't think that's where you want this kind of flexibility.
No. Agreed. I think indeed it's a 1/4 for 2, and I think that's the best role in the matchup right now. I really wish Emma had like at least 1 flame sweep.
Yeah, like having a sweeper available out of the side would have been
made this game a lot better for her. But
in the meantime, Dries is mulliganing, so he'll be down to 6 cards, but he is still on the play, of course.
Yep.
Who won game 1? The Storm deck. With a sad face.
How can you be sad? Well, I mean, I get that it's, you know,
it's Storm in Gentry.
Exactly.
Why?
You have like I know it's sad for if you're watching someone you like play and they lose and they lose at all, but it's a Storm deck. It has Underworld Breach. It's in Gentry. It's amazing.
I also feel like both Emma and Dries have very strong supporters behind them at this point.
For sure. And I'm sure Dylan is behind Emma just because it's Storm.
Ooh, apparently Dries went to 5 already.
Oof.
That's a different ballpark.
Yep. But he does have the turn 2 Cavalcade.
That's the goblin.
Oh, but that's a Grazer plus an extra land for Emma.
What's the goblin's name?
Thin Street Dodger. In the meantime, Dries deploying the Cavalcade of Calamity. No? Okay, goes for the Scorch Spitter.
Yeah, there's not
And makes
much
them
you need
buckle.
to be afraid of.
That's fair. Emma down to 19.
It's not like Emma's going to... I was going to say keep her mana open for a negate.
But yes, she is.
But she is.
I mean, with your opponent down to 5, Cavalcade is exactly what you don't want to see. Okay, does Cavalcade resolve? It looks like it. Yes. Okay, so that's good for Dries. Dries gets a land, makes that Thin Street Dodger unblockable. Trigger off the elemental 1. Trigger off the both attacks 16. And then 1 comes through 15. Dries down to a single card in hand. Thirst for Meaning on end step.
For some reason, I seem to be unable to type the word thirst.
Oh well. Emma ditching 2 life gain lands for mana up. Wilderness Reclamation. And pass the turn.
Chocolate girl, I'm just here to see people die to shock. Well, that happens on both sides.
Yes, exactly. Oh, that looked like an annex. That would be a great addition to the board here for Dries. Dries makes the Dodger unblockable. 1 ping off the elemental, 2 pings off the Calamity, 1 from the damage. And there's light at the stage. Hardfire plus Footlight Fiend. Yikes. That's amazing for Dries here.
Yeah, developing a lot better.
Yep.
Having that Cavalcade available to punch through so much damage.
That makes all the difference. Because Emma's Root Snares can block. Like, she has an 0-3 blocker, so Emma's Root Snares are only stop 1, 2, 3 damage. It's not enough.
Yeah, it only stops 40% of the damage.
Exactly. But she does have the Reclamation in play. She does get the Thirst. She does get to go look for stuff.
I think I sorted some problem with my stream, so we'll leave you people to see if sorted and stream some both games. Love you, Viking. Love you too, Seiwu. Enjoy your stream, man.
Chocolate Girl, yeah, I don't really see why you'd give the Dodger unblockable. It's an 0-3 anyway. Something's getting blocked. So, it doesn't really matter. But I mean, if you're not doing anything with the mana. Okay, so a lot of mana floating on Emma's side. Using up most of it.
It gets
Chemister's inside.
Through. Well, it doesn't get the damage through. You just
no. The damage would come through.
One.
Damage would come through no matter what because there's 2 attackers with a single blocker. There's the Return to Nature though. Takes care of the Calamity. Emma trying to stabilize at 13.
I also don't understand why you would play Thin Street Dodger if you can play Gingerbrute.
Yeah.
I mean, the unblockability is pretty much the same.
Mm-hmm. Can agree.
And it's uncommon.
Yes. Is Dodger an uncommon?
Yes.
Okay, then then you make a point because Dodger is red for Annex.
Sure.
For Annex's power.
I don't think I'll play an uncommon just for that.
No. That's fair. Torbrun, yes. Torbrun makes that kind of relevant as well. That's very true.
So
anyway, with the Cavalcade taken down and Dries on a mulligan of 5, this is not looking horrible for Emma.
Emma on full life.
Emma on 13, taking 3, so down to 10 now. It all depends on what Dries' final card here is.
Did Emma miss an untap? I don't think so. I think she cycled through the untap straight
Yes.
away, but had nothing else to do with them.
Yep, she just made a bunch of mana off of it. The first untap was just make a bunch of mana. Okay, so he's just gonna Heartfire,
Fling
The
for 5.
Footlight Fiend, and Emma down to 5. Okay, so that is obviously in the graveyard as well. And we don't know what his last card in hand is.
That leaves Dries with a 3-turn clock on the board, though.
But
Which
also with a
isn't-
lot of outs
Yeah.
to just kill Emma. So Emma needs to find some interaction. She needs to have some negates or something somewhere to stop burn spells.
Of which Dries is playing a lot less than
Yes, than one would expect.
than Emma probably thinks there are.
Which I mean reflects the way it is in Standard as well. The Standard lists are all much more into the cleave. Another card which would win Dries the game here.
Yeah.
Once and Future. So Emma did keep that in. So Emma gets to go grab up some lands.
That's also our
Oh no.
anti-death card, because if the copies
Yeah.
they don't have adamant, and
Yep.
you can actually prevent yourself from milling
Yeah, that's true.
and
Good point.
stack a broken library for
Yeah.
the rest of the game.
Okay, so Emma is popping off with the Wilderness Reclamation on end step.
I can hardly call it popping off if there's no 1,000-year storm next to it.
I'm not
now.
saying she's popping off on the winning side of things, but she's doing a lot of stuff on end step to try and find the answers she needs. You know what would be very useful right now? A Shock to kill the Scorch Spitter. Sadly, it might not be the best of plans to cast that. Unless she already has the Underworld Breach, of course.
Yeah, it's not like Dries will interact or that Emma will be able to go 10 spells deep
That's
without an Underworld Breach.
fair. That's fair. So with both untaps having happened, Chemister's Insight. Emma is digging as deep as her deck will allow it. And there we go. So, Dodger is made unblockable. 5, Root Snare. Emma stays at 5. No combat damage happening. Dries has a Heartfire in hand though. So Dries is 1 attack with the Elemental away from being able to Heartfire himself into the game 2 win. Never mind. Also, Niels, you forgot to update Emma's 0 to a 1.
Oh, right.
Does he play Chandra Spitfire? No, he does not play Chandra Spitfire as far as I know.
Which I think is super bizarre. I think Spitfire is slightly better
Shut
than
up.
the Goblin.
Yeah. Let me check. No Spitfires. Okay, so a bunch more mana. And thanks to that Underworld, thanks to the Arboreal Grazer, she gained another life, staving off that death. So, assuming Dries attacks with both, makes the Tin Street Dodger unblockable.
The dice on the table is probably Emma's floating mana.
Yes, that
at
is
this
floating
point.
mana, exactly.
So once in future, what's it bringing back?
A Tamio. And probably a Root Snare if she doesn't have one in hand already. She does have one, then I assume it's the Thirst for Meaning. Emma might be in a position to win next turn.
Yes.
So
Finds another root snare.
it's incredible how a matchup that I would have called a 70 to 30 matchup in favor of Cavalcade Red right now is at about a 50-50 shot of going 2-0 to the Storm deck. It's amazing. Return to Nature? Oh, Return to Nature is being picked up from the grave. Or no, it's being discarded?
Yeah, it's discarded for Chemister's Insight.
Okay, then her hand must be stacked. If she takes away that insurance policy. So float some more mana, untap. No more Chemisters.
Yeah, nothing interesting in the graveyard.
So mana goes away. She passes a turn with 7 cards in the grip. Dries. Torbran. Not enough lands for Torbran plus Hardfire. But play Torbran. Make Tinsley Dodger unblockable. Attack.
That's 6 damage.
The Devil pings for 3. That comes through for 3. Goes down to 1. And then Emma needs to win the next turn.
Yep.
So Dries is not winning this turn. But he can make such a position that Emma is...
So it could be just for 3 if Emma
has root snares. Yeah.
And she has at least one.
Okay.
That I've
Then
seen.
she definitely will root snare. But still, he gets to bring her down to 4, which means she needs to find a life gain land in order to not die to the Heartfire just straight up.
Yep.
Actually, no, not even that, because Torbran will make the Heartfire 6. So
No.
she dies to the
She
Heartfire
needs to
straight
win
up. She needs to
here.
win or remove Torbran or gain a lot of life or make Dries discard a card or have a negate in hand. Third Wilderness Reclamation.
Yep.
Okay.
But Emma doesn't have the
other
event
pieces.
invert package for
Yep.
a quick win.
Nope.
Which is something I would try to fit in this deck.
Yeah, I agree. And Emma also, at this point, has a third Reclamation, but does not have a Storm or a Breach. Alright, let's see. There's a Breach. Okay.
But I don't think there's much in the graveyards. I don't think there's enough in the graveyard to win, and she hasn't found the shock yet.
And that's probably what she's doing, right? She's
She
just
needs the shock
digging
to,
for the shock.
yeah, to clear the board.
Or win.
Which I don't.
She'd need 30 cards in the graveyard.
Yeah.
Might be possible. Okay, so first untap.
That's not 30 cards yet.
That's
And-
close though.
Well, it's going down with all the spells that she's escaping now.
Oh yeah, I thought she had 2 draw spells in hand, but she looks like she discarded them up as well. Yeah, this is getting clunky. All right, let me see. What else can she find? Does she have any
But
finds that survive?
She can find shock, clear the board once and foretold.
Was a future
to get
back?
the Underworld Breach back, and have play that way. But she needs to find the shock here.
Yep.
Well,
And
this
she's
is-
consuming a lot of resources from the graveyard. Oh, she found the shock.
shock.
Good.
Okay.
What is she digging for?
The 1,000-Year Storm doesn't have flash, right?
No.
No.
Thirst for Meaning is flash neutral. Is Delve neutral? Not exactly, right? It's putting 2 cards in the graveyard while
Exactly.
costing 3.
But itself goes to the graveyard.
Right? So there's a
Shock.
shock.
But is this enough?
I mean, with Thirst for Meaning, she can mill herself almost entirely if
So
she has the
shocked-
mana for it.
She shocked Dries.
She shocked Dries here, yeah. So she's definitely going for that.
You can't mill yourself entirely because you keep breaking even.
Right. Yeah, no, good point.
And that's not even 20 cards. I don't think Emma has this. She can
She's not
clear
playing
the
expansion,
board.
right? No, she's not playing expansion.
No? She can like randomly dump spells in the graveyard, but even then...
Yeah, okay, she's switching
okay.
to clearing the board. Dries, for some reason, changed his life total, but that doesn't seem to be correct.
Wait, so... Yeah, why did he adjust the life total? I think we have a
I'm not quite sure.
bit of a mistake there.
But let's not go and interrupt right now.
Yeah, it's likely irrelevant.
It's likely going to be irrelevant.
Because Emma can't win with shocks to the face through breach without the storm.
Yep. And her graveyard is already going to be very small to win next turn as well, though. So like,
but you only need 12 in the grave to win off shock.
Right, which she does not have at this point.
There's a 1,000-year storm.
Which she doesn't have at this point.
Emma has root snare plus negate in hand.
Okay,
sure, but
okay, if she with that in hand though, she can just let the board sit as it is.
So we're leaving Underworld Breach as the card viewer because that's all she's running off of. That's why you see all the cards being exiled from the graveyard and lots of stuff happening that we've already seen happening. But you have to sacrifice it at the end step. So
basically, Dries makes it unblockable. Attacks with both. Trigger down to 4. Root snare for Emma.
To block
down to
1
4.
life.
To block 1 loss of life, sure. And to get that root snare in the graveyard.
Yeah.
And Heartfire. And the Heartfire will get negated. And then the question is...
Did Emma find the storm? The 1,000-year storm in the meantime?
There's light of the stage.
That's irrelevant with just 1 mana untapped.
Okay, so now, again, the question is, on Emma's turn, can she win? And win starts with 1,000-year storm, as Niels just said. That is absolutely
and
for
then
sure.
once and future, and I mean, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be there now.
Yep.
Or Tamio. Okay, Tamio
is good. Tamio can pick back up on the World Breach.
Tamio, which Tamio is this?
Tamio, Collector of Tales. It's Tamio with a Y, not a J. Yes, there we go.
So did she activate Tamio yet?
Yes, it looks... Oh, no, not yet. No, not yet.
Because that was a glimmer...
It's still on 5 as far as I can tell. This is a Shimmer of Possibility.
Shimmer. I thought it was Glimmer.
No, that's Glimmer of Genius. That card is no longer legal. Oh, now that was a card draw spell. Okay, so Shimmer. Her deck is almost 0 cards, so there's no way she doesn't find the storm, right? But
the storm is 6 mana, no?
Mm-hmm. So we're past the point of storm being good enough, so granted.
So Fae of Wishes.
If Penny's deck isn't as cool as this, Emma should win. Well, I mean, Penny's deck is cool, but it's not as cool as Emma's.
So, it's granted.
Granted for Devious Cover-Up to shuffle cards back in the library.
Wow. How?
Well, I guess.
So you just... But then Dries wins.
How?
By having 8 cards in his hand and then going burn, 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 burn.
Right, no, I'm not saying that her plan is winning. I'm saying her plan is Devious Cover-Upping to shuffle the necessary cards back into the library so that she can draw them again. Wait, no, that doesn't help.
No.
Right, no.
She just needs the storm.
Devious Cover-Up is probably... No, I know why she grabbed Devious Cover-Up. Because she didn't have counterspells in hand and she wanted a counterspell.
Okay.
That's the only reason.
Did Emma just pick up the cards from the Impulse? No, I don't think so.
I was checking the deck list at that time, so I can't tell you. But number of cards wise, this seems to be accurate. Seems to be where she should be. Seems to have the number of cards that she should have at the end of this turn, given the chemisters that was cast.
Yeah. So we have Cavalcade.
No, we have Annex.
Also, I don't really understand why Dries sacrificed Torch Spitter over the Goblin.
Because it can become unblockable.
Yeah.
I know. I completely agree. The Scorch Spitter does exactly the same amount of damage with its
No, it does
attack.
more because there's root
Yeah,
snares.
exactly. I know.
Kids in the chat, please behave. Be nice to each other.
Okay, so Emma...
Dries is going mad. But like, it just keeps going up and down and up and down. Like, grumble, grumble, grumble.
This is like, I signed up for a fast aggro deck and quick matches. Stop this baloney.
So, Chum Blocker Fate to the rescue. This isn't how Mono Red plays out. Yeah, this is a bizarre game now.
Oh, yeah.
The thousand is
She's
the
gonna-
1,000 Year Storm literally the last card?
Emma is gonna grant it again. Wow. That is incredible.
Yeah, for the second
So
counter
1,000 Year
spell.
Storm must have been
The last card.
the
Yeah.
last card. Wow.
And she's still clutching this.
But I mean, so she draws 1,000 Year Storm, plays it, then cannot play a single card draw spell. So she has to
Well, no, the Devious Cover-Ups.
use both Devious Cover-Ups to start building up the range, and then shock. Whew.
No, she can shock, 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 shock.
If she has enough cards in the graveyard,
Yeah.
which I don't think she does. Which is why I think she'll have to start with Devious Cover-Up lines to build up, so that the first shock is already 3 shocks.
Sure. Now, if Emma can piece this one, puzzle this
What
one
Emma
into
could
each
do
other,
is retain priority, shock, cover up, cover up.
Nitpick just showed up. Technically, Anakin did bring balance to the Force. Wait, what? Stuff happened in the chat.
What? Oh yeah, there were hundreds of Jedi, but only 2 Sith. He balanced it out. Yeah, completely agree. Anyway, Emma can definitely get to the kill here, because she just storm, retain priority, shock, cover up, so that the shock also gets copied 3 times.
Yeah.
And then just chain the cover up copies together so that the shock eventually resolves, and then go off from there. We are... Please tell me we're in Emma's main phase.
No.
Please tell me we're not in Emma's main phase.
I think she just deviously covered up something.
Yes, her own thirst for meaning, I'm assuming.
Where's the storm? The bottom card of the library. You see that one face down card?
Wait, but she's... Why is she shuffling cards in?
Because she had to counter something, I assume.
No. She countered one of her own spells. It looks like... Or, I mean, even... You don't have to shuffle in with Devious Cover-Up. No, it was her own turn. I'm confused now. I am very confused in this game.
That was one for Sander.
Okay, so Root Snare is back, obviously. She got her own spell to win next turn for sure, yeah. Unless she doesn't find the 1,000 Year Storm.
Yeah, now 1,000 Year Storm is a 20% draw.
I mean, unless we were wrong and the 1,000 Year Storm wasn't the only card left in the library. Neil's 63 viewers, by the way.
Oh, hello. How are you doing? You come here often? No, you don't. I mean, welcome.
Yes, Thumbgeta Games, you can absolutely counter your own spells. There's a cover-up to take care of Dries's card draw. Emma,
So let's have a look at Devious Cover-Up.
yeah, Emma's going to shuffle in Devious Cover-Up again. And Shimmer and Negate, and Emma is rebuilding a library. Like, I have full faith that Emma knows what she's doing and is working on a plan. I'm just too dumb to see it. Because I'm just seeing someone rebuilding their library, reducing the chance of finding 1,000 Year Storm.
Emma just checked this. The storm is in here, right? It is in here,
Yeah.
right?
The 2 damage Dries took of the shock going to Torbran is going to matter big time.
Yeah, maybe we should go
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah.
correct that.
Judge, if you would please go upstairs and inform the players that Dries is on 2 life lower than he should be because of the Torbran. Well, because of a shock going to Torbran, as far as we know. If you could please go and check. Thank you, Judge. Okay, Thousand Year Storm is in Emma's hand.
Finally!
And she's casting Shimmer before casting it. I'm, again, incredibly confused.
Our judge
Judge
on the
is on the way.
scene is on the way.
So we could just switch to the side view.
Up 4 floors. The little tuft of red hair you see.
I do hope Anuka's aware of what the exact interaction was and how long it's been.
Maybe we missed something. That's also possible.
Yeah, that's why I wanted the judge to go check.
Yeah.
I'll go and debrief with Anuka about that.
So the 1000 Year Storm has hit the board now.
Als Emma de Torbran gekild met shocks. En op een gegeven moment heeft Emma een shock met Torbran gedood, maar heeft Dries 2 leven afgenomen. Waar we denken dat Dries 2 leven te veel genomen heeft.
Yeah, apparently the story to the players wasn't clear that we were talking about an interaction that happened 10 turns ago. So we have attacks now. Emma is blocking the annex here, dropping down to 4, which makes a hardfire lethal again, but seems like that's not in. 63 viewers, welcome everybody. It's great to have you here. You're watching the second game of the Gentry Invitational, a budget version of Standard that limits you to 4 rares and or mythics that have to be uniquely different, and 15 uncommons. So it's a lot cheaper. They just checked for a little mistake that happened like 10 turns ago. Okay. We have a devious cover-up on the shock and the explanation on why the 16 life is correct after all.
I double-checked with both players, and both players agreed that 2 shocks were cast targeting Dries. During the game and only afterwards did shocks start targeting Torbran.
Okay. Emma is stressing Nitpick out. I don't know why. She's playing very chilled and composed. Well,
Emma is stressing herself out.
This does look like a really fun deck to play, and
yeah.
a horrible deck to play against, like spectator mode.
Yep. Spectator. I want to see a mirror of this.
No. Okay, I think I'm going to sleeve this deck up, but I'm going to jam Electro Dominance, Expansion Explosion, and 2 Inverted Vents in here. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure you can still make this deck work.
Yeah, probably. Skewer. What? Oh yeah, Dries just skewers the face. Go down to 1. Sure thing. 1 isn't 0.
Okay, nice. Emma is Buddha. What?
Sander, okay, you will have to play a lot of mirrors.
Oh no, next week Sander's declaring that this is the best deck and it's unbeatable, and in
this no. Though to be fair, I did not think this deck could
exist in Gentry.
1 and 2 beat mono red.
Yeah.
Especially game 1.
Well, Dries had
like this game makes sense because Dries mulled to 5 for this game.
He mulled to 5 and didn't have a Cavalcade game 1. So,
yeah, that was the issue game 1.
And he doesn't have Spitfire. Chandra Spitfire for that big burst of damage.
True.
I mean, Anax he's good, he's solid, but he doesn't do what what a Spitfire can do. I mean,
Agreed.
Spitfire can just go like, I get to attack for the first time, you're dead, Jim.
Annex has the benefit of being board wipe protection. Just too bad that board wipes that we play are exile.
Well, he survives the exile one.
Yeah. But it's about the... It's basically like a standard, right? You have that next to a bunch of X1s mostly. So yeah.
Okay.
Game is over. Pick up Shock, down tick Tamio on Breach, cast Shock a bunch of times, easy win. The graveyard might not be quite full enough for that.
I think there's 12 cards now.
But there's definitely... Emma definitely has a path to victory here.
So, Shimmer of Possibility.
Dries could have killed Tamio to win.
Not really. There's a Once and Foretold. There's 3 Devious Cover-Ups that would have shuffled whatever Emma needs back in while stopping Dries from doing anything in the meantime.
Exactly. In the meantime, Emma is just spinning the wheels, getting the 1,000-year storm count up before starting with the shocks.
I'm wondering who Chocolate Girl is now. They seem to have a pretty good grasp on how this deck is working.
They probably played in Pioneer or something play Breach in Pioneer or something similar.
And we have another new viewer, Blonde Unicorn. Hi. All these cool new nicknames in the chat.
Okay, so Tamio is back.
Back again. See? Emma can get him back.
Mm-hmm.
Hearts for Emma. There's a lot of support for Emma now.
Yep.
And
there's a shock.
Number 1 to the face gets copied. Wait.
I'm confused, but okay.
Are we not just killing Dries here?
Maybe she counted out and she's like, I don't get there.
And we're staying stable on 60 viewers.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much, everybody, for sticking around.
Board's dead. Here's a Satyr. Here's another Satyr. No? Just the one Satyr?
Well, kill Anax first.
Oh, yeah. Fair. Is this the final? No. This is the third quarterfinals.
Wow. How hype will the final be? I'm already...
Yeah.
Whew.
Could be interesting. So I'm going to quickly check the bracket because Emma is playing as the winner of the next match, right?
Correct.
That's going to be interesting. I can tell you that
Pepin
versus Allen, yes, and they both know. They both know.
Oh, we have the handshake in the meantime. So
okay.
That means
Emma
wraps it up here.
Emma, she isn't supposed to shuffle the deck after the shimmer. Can the judge please inform her of that?
Oh,
yes,
she
this will happen. Okay, perfect. Okay. Yeah, there was so much going on that we couldn't even tell. I am going to make place for Dries and have a quick bathroom break. I will be right back for the last quarterfinals.
Okay. So in the meantime, in the background, I'm setting up your next match, so we don't need to wait. Because it's going to be Pepin on red, black, green food. Versus Pepin. But that all can wait now because we have a very sad Dries here right now.
Very, very sad.
All right. So Dries, the Sydney class champion, sort of more elective.
Yes.
It was a bit hard finding somebody who could make it. Their leaderboard was on Friday evening, and a lot of people that played there didn't actually manage to make it here. So Dries was selected as their representative and did a pretty fine job.
It was a very unique deck
to play against.
Which I've never seen before.
To make you feel better, nobody has.
Oh, so it was. She was the first test subject.
Emma and Tom. Well, Emma thought up this deck. Tom helped develop it, and that's the only two people that knew about this.
Wow!
Like when Sandra and me got the deck list, we were like what? How does this? What? The shock?
Yeah, it was
There's
like,
one shock in the deck.
and that killed me
Yes.
twice.
It's duplicate brothers. Yeah.
Yes, I think in the last game I should have skewered the critics the Tamio instead of the face. Then she could not have returned the Underworld
true.
Breach.
But then, on the other hand, that just sets up the devious cover-up loop to bring it back 17 turns later.
Yes,
And I don't think...
there
like-
wasn't anything I could have done to win, I think, at that point anymore.
No, at that point, Sander and me realized that the only way you could still crawl back in was if you drew 8 burn spells in a row, kept them in your hand, and then just started throwing them all at the same turn. And
That might have been the option, but I didn't think I had that many turns left.
we don't think so either. About your deck, though. So let's have a look at your deck list. Let's highlight yours a bit bigger here. Nobody sees it yet, but I'm moving stuff and making them bigger because bigger is better, right? There we go. Awesome axe thingy. Wing. There we go. So everybody sees your deck now. Is there anything? Well, before I ask you, we were wondering, you're playing Tin Street Dodger instead of Chandra's Spitfire. And we were really wondering, it slows the deck down a little bit, but it makes for such a big interactive punch with especially the Cavalcade. So the 1/3 flying that gets +3/+0.
True.
And we thought...
I think it was a bit of a call, actually, to do the early game pressure with the Tin Street Dodger, or actually go with the Chandra's Spitfire to do more damage in one big swoop.
Yeah.
And I think, well, I guessed it would be better at this point to just fill in the Tin Street Dodger instead of the Spitfire.
Yeah, because Ginger Brute almost does the same thing, but he's not red for Anax.
No, indeed.
Yeah, we were wondering, like, there's apparently different versions of this deck that start to hover around. Is there anything you would have changed? Because I know that...
This is Mats' deck list.
Yeah.
I am a big fan of almost the entire deck, but my only not being a fan is the Experimental Frenzy.
Yeah.
I think at this point in this type of deck, it is also an aggro deck, but I think it doesn't do much.
Yeah, you need
here.
immediate impact from something that costs 4.
I was searching Friday, just before I sent you the deck list, for an alternative to Experimental Frenzy, but I came up with nothing that I had in my trade binder at the point, so...
Okay. Yeah, because Torban is the auto lock. Ember Cleave.
Too bad I didn't see it.
Yeah, seems pretty awesome. The Chandra also seems pretty high up the curve.
I think Chandra is pretty good just because when she resolves and players start damaging her, she does damage whatsoever. So that's always good to have.
All right. So let's go back to our interview screen. There we go. Because I want to thank you, Dries, for coming by.
No problem.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, very much. It was a very pleasant match to play.
And I hope you stick around and watch the rest downstairs. Yes. Perfect.